Okay. It's been a couple weeks, but I'm back. I'm about, what, 85%?
You look 100%.
Thank you. So you're working on the steering today.
Uh-huh.
Trying to get your tilt wheel in.
Yeah.
How's it going?
It's going perfect.
Let's take it. Are we ready to look at it?
Yeah, take a look.
Right, tell us what's going on here.
Yes, all right. So what I did is I made up some bungs. I drilled and tapped some solid 1-inch rod, and I welded them to the column after I shortened it. I take the column apart to do that, but I made them stick out 1 inch. Then made up some plates that I think look cool. And now you can see that's the idea. It's going to tilt like that. But I got that piece. What I did down there is I welded up the hole. After I put the holes in, I welded up a tube in here, and I welded tubes between those 4 bolts there. So, because that floor is 3/4 inch like space in between 2 pieces of sheet metal. So it's solid right now. It worked out really well.
So basically that is to me it's just like an SCS gearbox, like on a monster truck.
Yeah, I guess it's like a chain drive.
Yeah.
So like, you know, when you turn, you can see it turns right like that. I mean, it's smooth as butter, but you don't feel anything or anything. But the output shaft's pointed down where that other circle is. So
right.
And it's right on top of the steering box right now. I got all the U-joints to do that as well. Just was trying to get the column mounted today. That was my goal.
I'm trying to hold the light at the same time, sorry. So basically what that does, it's an offset because your steering box isn't anywhere near where you needed it because it had to be where it is.
You can't have the steering U-joints at too much of an angle. They just won't work. And to get it to go over where it would have needed to be, I mean, I would have had to like come up through the floor and it ended up in here. So the shaft would come down like this. Problem with that is this is where your foot's got to go.
Yeah.
I can't have anything there. I want to raise the floor, so that's why I put that on top instead of underneath. It would have fit underneath, but since I was going to raise the floor, I figured it'd be better to put it up on the inside here, so it'll protect it, keep it clean and everything. I don't have to worry about anything there or seals or anything going bad in that thing. It'll never get wet. It'll just be right there under the floor. So that floor will be removable.
We had some people asking about the pedals and how is the linkage gonna not move when you move the suspension up and down. Well, the suspension is separate from the body in the chassis.
Even the steering box is mounted to the chassis, and this will hook to the steering box, and the body's pretty much welded to the chassis now. But then after that, it has a drag link that goes over to the idler arms, and then on the end of the idler arms is a center link. And on the end of the center link is tie rods. Those tie rods are the only thing that move up and down with the suspension. So everything else just stays with the chassis. I mean, it turns and all, but the only thing that moves up and down with the suspension would be the tie rods, and that's what took me 6 months to figure out.
Well, kind of like the steering.
This is going a lot better.
So then for pedals, you'll just have regular hard-mounted pedals and...
Well, yeah, the gas pedal's electric, so that one's going to be easy to do, I think.
Drive-by-wire, yeah.
Yeah. Then the brakes is, we were talking about, where
do
hydro boost, hopefully.
Yep, that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
So for those brackets right there, they're going to have to attach to something. So that's what you've finally finished. So earlier you had a little issue and you had to do something. We'll show that right here. That's a beautiful looking piece there.
Right?
I imagine there's 2 of them, right?
Something like that.
Yeah. But what's going on here?
Well, you weren't here to keep me on track. And look what happened. No, because of the angles inside of the new dash, the box tubing that I put in a couple weeks ago. And there's that other piece, which is going to attach right here, right here. So this is going forward. That's that rectangular tube, and this is the box tube that I put in. But the problem is that box tube's on an angle like this. So what I did is I cut 2 blanks with this cutout and this cutout, and I put them in the car and marked the slots. So that way it would be perfect. So I was able to get both slots in it. This one I had already done, and I started laying it out how I was going to put the holes. Started drilling holes, like, wait a minute, I need to put them both together, drill both sets of holes together so everything matches up and lines up. And when I did, I realized that just because of those angles of those bars, both of these, this and this are the same, but it just doesn't come out even. where the slots are. So
They're a little offset.
yeah, they'd offset.
They're about that much offset.
Yeah, not even. It's only going to be up to about here. Yeah. But I just cut a big chunk out. This is the leftover from cutting this, so I just gotta put it back on, and then sometimes you have to do that.
Hey, stuff happens,
right? The cool thing about metal is I'll weld that up, sand it down. Nobody will know ever, because I know you guys are gonna say.
Nope, nobody's gonna talk about it.
Nobody's talking about this anymore. This is it.
What happens in the Winnebago project stays in the Winnebago project. All right, get that welded up.
Yep.
And we will show it in place in a few minutes.
Really? I am. Look, it's almost invisible. After I put it in the acid to get the scale off of it, the weld showed up. Whatever. Doesn't matter. These parts are going to get painted because they're going to get welded into the body up in there. And I'm going to weld a tube between this one.
So that's going to mount up there under the dash.
Yes. To do this was extremely difficult because what I had to
kind of like holding this light is extremely difficult.
Anything to get over up under the front of this thing is anything to do down there is difficult because you can't. I didn't want to take the seat out because I needed the seat to make sure the column was in the right spot. And what I did is I made some blanks and I cut out the cutout for the box tubing and the rectangular tube underneath there's where I was going to attach it. Put them up in there and clamped everything up and then marked the slots. So I moved it all the way up where I wanted it to end and then all the way down where I wanted it to end on both of them and on both sides. So I did that to make sure everything would be in the right spot. But just to do, I had to tack those pieces in and get them clamped and it was really, really, really difficult to get that all lined up. But you can see these pieces, that's why I had to even make that one longer. But you line up the holes and everything here. Like everything looks good, but like see the cope? Like this cope is different, and this cope is different.
It's weird as a fabricator doing stuff like that too. You're used to making them the exact same.
Well, you think it's not. The problem is these are perfectly square. That steering column squared to the front, but you see that bar is not square, and then the one underneath it, it's not square, and those two aren't even parallel together. So it is what it is. So I just had to. That's we did it this way. I put it all in and then put the slots in when I knew everything was straight. So
you're just gonna get those tacked in. Hopefully that'll be where they need to go, and you'll be able to weld them off. And then we'll come back here in a second and show you what it looks like. Literally a second because this is video editing.
Sorry.
So snap your fingers.
All right, 30 minutes later. Probably like an hour and a half later.
What's all that grunting? What's happening in there? You're just laying down. It can't be that hard.
I got it. I got him in. That's interesting. Okay. Well, I gotta get him in here, tighten it, and I'll center the seat up. Center the column up. Seat's already where I want it. So, sit down, get it lined up. Use that big magnet to hold it in place. That big magnet. And then we'll just climb all up in there and weld it. Simple as that. It's gonna be a lot easier with like a handrail up here.
It just hit my head.
You're gonna have a handrail up in here. This will be mounted so you can actually like grab it, and there'll be a step here. Not just like it's hard right now because I don't want to step on everything. I don't want to step on anything. I don't want to grab anything because
I can hardly step on it. My foot's twisted in here.
I know. That's the other thing. It's like I get this stupid hose. Obviously, that's not gonna be there. It'd be nice when this stuff's out of the way, but I gotta take it as it comes.
Okay, you got it all tacked in there?
Yeah.
Did it work?
It works.
Check it out. Look at that.
And the whole column tilts now. And it's doesn't smash the windshield. I wanted to make sure that if it wouldn't accidentally ever get bumped into the windshield and break it, so it stops here. And I've already checked it earlier when I was marking that the seat can rotate around in this position, so we're good. But yeah,
I'd say it looks overbuilt
a little bit. I might weld a tube between here and there, just because that's the furthest away. If it needs more rigidity after it's welded, it's only tacked, and I'm gonna do that another day. It's like 97 degrees out, and I've been here since 3:30.
Somebody turned the Florida switch on.
Yeah, idiot.
Okay, so people are gonna ask, how are you gonna adjust it? You're gonna just use a wrench?
Yes, we're gonna get the impact gun out every time, and that's what these holes are for. You can get your fingers in there. No, you had a terrific idea, and what we're gonna do is get one of those cylinders, the little shock cylinder things that they use on the Razor tilt wheels. It's like a kind of like a way a office chair goes up and down, except for not the spring-loaded part, so it doesn't just jerk you in the face. But it'll be like a little hydraulic cylinder. It has a little lever on it. They're not that expensive, and I'll be able to mount it. I can make a tab off of right here and then in there, and it'll sit right in between these. So you just pull the lever, which I don't know where the lever will end up, but I don't really care either, because I'll make it cooler and make it reach to where I need it to be, or like you were saying, foot pedal idea. I think that's
like a semi truck would have a foot pedal. I think that'd be kind of cool.
Just be able to, while you're sitting here, is to push a pedal or something, and then push the steering wheel out of your way. Then you can get out. But it's gonna be nice because I can drive it there. But I was kind of figuring it's gonna be more like this. But if I wanted to bring it all the way down, like, it'd be real hard to get in and out like this. But it won't be an issue with you can just slide it up. And that thing is like infinite adjustable. It's not like a tilt where it has clicks. It'll be like wherever you want to stop it, it'll stop. It just stays there, and it'll look the part too, because it's like another hydraulic cylinder.
Yeah,
so I like that. Right. Yeah. But heck yeah, that's awesome. You can see it pivots on the U joint, but it also is doing its thing. It works just like it's supposed to. So yeah, that piece down there was a bit pricey, but it sure did make the job go easier.
Yeah, I think we were talking. You could have made that. It would have cost about $4 or $5 grand to actually build it, and in the time
so much time.
Yeah,
it would have taken to do it, and I would have had to overbuild it, because I tend to do that. And not that that's not overbuilt. It's built well. It's engineered. So
nice.
For the steering, it is super nice. I'm not disappointed with that at all. But it's really cool now. I got the column in there now. It's just
one step closer.
Yeah.
If you're wondering why, well, I have no energy because of the past 2 weeks, but Ryan has no energy right now because it's 4 o'clock and he's been here since 3:30 in the morning.
Yeah, and
So.
it's 97 right now.
Huh? No.
But yeah. So, heck yeah. I'm stoked over that. Look at that thing. All right, I'm going home. That's enough for one day. Don't forget, like, subscribe, tell all your friends. You want to check out this column? Maybe I can let you sit in here and do this.
I know what you're doing tomorrow morning.
I'm going to come here. I'm going to get my paddle shifters done, though.
All right, too many secrets. Goodbye.
See ya.